I'm Roy from Roy's Garage. Today I'm going to be working on a 2002 Lexus SC430 4.3 liter automatic. I'm going to show you how to do the rear brakes. These are the tools I'm going to be using today to do this job. A hood prop, large water pump plier, rubber mallet, ball peen hammer, 4-pound sledgehammer, 17mm wrench, 10mm wrench, long nose plier, 2 different type flat tip screwdrivers, air gun, Phoenix brake flusher, penetrating oil, brake clean, ceramic grease, anti-seize, suction ball, and a bottle of water with a hole on the top. These are the parts I'm going to be using today to do this job. Rear brake pads, rear rotors, and .3 brake fluid. Okay, first I'm going to be opening up my bleeder screw. Okay, locking it up. So I'm going to be taking off this clip that holds the pin in. So I'm going to be removing this hardware. Okay, removing this pin. So I'm going to be removing this spring. And removing the pads. Okay, so I'm going to be removing the calipers. There's 2 bolts, 17mm wrench. So on this guy, there's 2 pistons, 1 on each side. So I'm going to be compressing the pistons. So first I'm going to be opening up my bleeder screw. And then with my plier, I'm going to be squeezing the piston back in. And at the same time, you're going to see all the dirty fluid come out. You don't want this dirty fluid to go back up to the master. So lock up your bleeder screw. So I'm going to be removing the rotor. So the rotor is stuck on the hub. So I'm going to use some penetrating oil. Shoot it all over. And then I'm gonna get my 4-pound sledgehammer. I'm gonna be pounding the rotor. It's okay to make gouges in the rotor because we're gonna be replacing it. Okay, I'm going to be transferring this rubber plug to the new rotor. So I'm going to be putting on some anti-seize around my hub so it doesn't get stuck the next time. Okay. So I'm going to be cleaning my rotors. using some brake clean. Make sure there's no oil on the rotor. If you notice, this is a coated rotor. Leave the coating on. What's going to happen is when you road test, you're going to hear a grinding sound. Eventually the grinding sound is going to go away. Give it about a few miles. Once the grinding sound goes away, then you're good to go. So this plug, you light them up with this hole. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to readjust the emergency brake. There's a star adjuster under here. You just got to turn it and just fit the rotor on. And if you feel a very slight drag, then you're good to go. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to be lubricating my caliper with some ceramic grease. In fact, maybe this way would be better. Okay, lubricating my pistons. So installing the caliper. And tightening it up. Okay, so I'm going to be lubricating the back of the pad and sliding it in. So we're putting on the new spring. The new one came with the kit. So I'm going to be greasing up my pin. Putting it in, putting on my lock. So I'm going to be using the old hardware. I did the other side already, and the new hardware is not exactly the same. It doesn't fit too good. So I'm going to be reusing the old hardware. It's a little tricky. And this guy, you gotta lift it up and then shove it down. So I'm going to be removing the brake fluid from the reservoir. Okay, so now I'm going to be flushing out the brake system with my Phoenix brake flusher. I'm going to be pumping fresh fluid from the caliper up to the master. So I'm going to be opening up the bleeder screw, pumping some fresh fluid. Takes about half a bottle per wheel. Okay, so we're going to be locking up the bleeder screw. Now I'm going to be sucking out the master cylinder. Okay, so I'm going to be filling up my master. Okay, so I'm going to start up the vehicle. So I'm going to be pumping the brake pedal up and down, no more than halfway until I feel pressure. So this guy feels good. So I'm going to be pressurizing the brake system. I'm going to be using my hood prop. One side against the brake pedal, the other side against the seat. So I'm going to be opening up my bleeder screw, making sure there's no air in the system. Okay, that looks perfect. Okay, lock them up. Shoot some water on it. Brake fluid is water soluble. Blow it down with the air gun. Pressurize the brake again with the hood prop. So pressurize the system for about maybe 15-20 seconds and then check for leaks. That bleeder screw looks dry, so you're all good to go. So that's how you replace a rear brake pads and rotors. If you have any questions, comment below. Make sure to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, and I see you in the next video. Aloha.